In this video, I'm going to give you 3 beginner-friendly gods for every role in Smite 2. These characters all have simple kits and are great if you're new to the game or just learning a role for the first time. I tried to pick gods that are strong regardless of the meta, so no matter when you're watching this video, you'll be able to pick one of these up and it'll work just fine. Starting off with middle, I wanted to showcase some characters that are super flashy and deal massive area damage. First up, we have Poseidon. Poseidon is all about controlling the battlefield with waves, whirlpools, and other various forms of water. His ultimate allows you to unleash the Kraken, dealing huge burst damage and stunning enemies in the area. He's great for beginners because he moves around super fast, which helps you to farm up and be in the right place at the right time. Number 2 in the mid is Zeus. Zeus deals consistent damage with his lightning-charged auto attacks and abilities and packs a powerful punch, especially in the late game. He can unleash a lightning storm which covers a large area and zaps anyone unfortunate enough to be caught inside. Zeus requires some careful positioning, but he's extremely rewarding to play. The final mid laner I want to mention is Anubis. Anubis is an absolute machine when it comes to dealing damage, and his playstyle is very easy to understand. You can stun an enemy with your wrap and just melt them with the rest of your kit. Anubis' ultimate fires a death laser from his eyes and is one of the highest damaging abilities in the game. He also gains protections and lifesteal as he gets low on HP, which can help turn the fight in your favor. Next, we have the carry role, and I tried to pick gods that are generally safe in lane so you can survive till late game, which is where you'll really shine. Starting off with Medusa. This god is a slippery, high damage hunter who's perfect for beginners. She's great in 1v1s and her ultimate can stun and destroy entire teams if used properly. She's fast, fun, and forgiving, making her a great choice for anyone new to the carry role. Next, let's have a look at Cupid. Like all hunters, Cupid has great single target damage, but he also has a large AoE ultimate that has a really strong CC as well. He can heal himself and his teammates, which is very helpful for sustaining in lane. Cupid is a ton of fun at all stages of the game and is strong in every game mode, so definitely give him a try. Last for the carry role, we have Neith. This is the goddess you play in the tutorial, and she's great because of her simplicity. A lot of new players gravitate towards Neith because she's a ton of fun and her kit is strong too. She's got solid wave clear, sustain, and self-peel as well with her backflip. Her ultimate is a global snipe that can help secure kills from across the map. This ultimate is an absolute pain for the enemy to play around when used properly. For jungle, I chose gods that will help you learn the fundamentals of this role. First, we have one of the most iconic Smite gods, Thor. Thor has a versatile kit with a mix of mobility, damage, and crowd control. His ultimate takes you up into the sky before slamming down, dealing damage, and stunning enemies in the area. Thor's combo is really straightforward and super satisfying to pull off. He's one of the first gods I tried out when I was new, and he's still one of my most played gods to this day. Next up for junglers, we have Loki. Loki is the quintessential assassin and will really help you learn the playstyle of jungle. He can turn invisible, which makes it easy to engage and escape safely. His ultimate teleports you a short distance, dealing high damage and stunning enemy gods. Sneaking around and deleting squishy enemies is a ton of fun, and I highly suggest trying out this character if you're new to the jungle. The third and final god I recommend for this role is Fenrir. This is one of the easiest gods in Smite. He's strong early game, and his ult allows for very simple ganks. Even if you fall behind, Fenrir is still great because you can transition to a more supporty playstyle and just set up for your team. Make no mistake though, this god does a ton of damage and can absolutely carry the game from start to finish. I've got a lot of guides specifically on the jungle, so go check those out if you want to learn more about this role. Moving on to solo lane, I went with gods that have high sustain to help you survive the laning phase. Hades has an incredible early game with strong wave clear that also heals him. He can be built full damage or even as a bruiser, and either way he'll be a menace to the enemy backline. His ultimate, Pillar of Agony, pulls in enemies and deals massive damage, which is perfect for team fights. Overall, Hades is a great pick for beginners because he's simple and super strong. Our second solo god is Hercules. Hercules has a strong self-heal and a simple but deadly combo that pulls enemies towards you before stunning and pushing them away. For his ult, he picks up a boulder and throws it at the enemy, knocking them up and dealing a ton of damage. Hercules is very disruptive in teamfights, and he's just got a great balance of aggression and defense. Chaac is another great solo laner if you're just starting out, for a lot of the same reasons as Hercules. He's got a strong laning phase, good self-sustain, and his abilities are pretty simple to land. His ultimate is a huge circle that knocks up and silences enemies, which can bring insane value in teamfights. And last, but definitely not least, we have the supports. Athena is probably the best guardian you can play as a beginner. She's easy to play, but offers a huge impact in the game. Her taunt is one of the strongest CCs for peel or setup, and it's basically unmissable. Athena's ultimate grants an ally a health shield before teleporting to them, dealing damage as she lands. This allows you to help out teammates from across the map, which is extremely valuable as a beginner while you learn when to rotate. Bacchus is one of the most fun guardians in the game. He's got a lot of wide area CC, which makes him really disruptive in teamfights. His passive also gives him a ton of free stats, which helps you deal damage while also being incredibly tanky. Bacchus is an absolute blast to play, which is why I always recommend him to beginners. And finally, we have Ymir. This god is a tanky menace and does good damage as well. He can freeze enemies in a large cone in front of him, and put up an ice wall so they can't escape. His ultimate slows in a large circle before exploding for massive area damage. Ymir teaches you good positioning and how to control the battlefield. And that's it. I've got a couple of videos with tips on how to play each role, so go check those out if you want to learn more about how to play Smite. Thanks for watching. See ya!